Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth plus 34 wins in a row. Man, I mean that's a decent number. We're starting to get there. C6AQJYTR. We got one of those runs right now where I have no idea how to interpret our stats because we have Dr. Fetus. I'll tell you, I can just by feel. Which is, you know, instinct. It's a valuable thing when you play the game this much, I think. Just by instinct, I can tell you. Our rate of fire is slightly slow. But I'm not trying to phrase it as if it's the ultimate negative, you know? A slow rate of fire is not the end of the world when you're talking about an item like Dr. Fetus, where, you know, one errant bomb could put you in a rough spot. For now, though, everything's going hunky-dory. Today's Friday. That's my Friday. And, you might be wondering, NL, what are your weekend plans? I wish I knew, brother. I got no idea. But it's summertime, and the living's... Well, it's not really summer. I got a bone to pick. The weather's nice. That's what I'm getting at. I got a bone to pick, okay? I understand that, you know, the seasons need to be divided equally. And depending on where you live in the world, they might divide nicely. But here, the seasons don't really make sense, okay? I'm not saying we should get a different season for every, you know, specific part of the world. That's a little ridiculous, but, you know, I don't know if the 4-season meta with 3 months each really works for Vancouver. I would say that Vancouver, like, May to October is like summer. My personal 2 cents. What defines the summertime? Well, is the living easy? That's step 1. Step 2 is... Step 2? Step 2 is it predominantly sunny? The answer to the question, if it's yes, then you're good to go. Don't you dare walk into me like that. And then, you know, October to March is like winter. What is winter in Vancouver? Well, you know, it's different here, but it just rains a lot, basically, is the big deal. And then spring is March and April. That's yikes, dude. We got a 3-season setup here. It's not to say there's not an autumn in Vancouver, but I mean, I kind of find that autumn sort of blends in with what else we got going on here. But basically what I'm getting at is, screw you, as far as I'm concerned, it's the summertime, and nobody could tell me otherwise. I have no idea what I'm going to do. It's like a nerd hangover weekend, you know? Last week was Avengers. A big Game of Thrones episode that I didn't like that much, but you can't deny that there was a lot of spectacle associated with it. There was an F1 race, and now this weekend, I'm like, dude, I don't know. What are you gonna do? Play some more Mortal Kombat? I mean, I would be surprised if that were not on the docket, but I don't know. I wish I had more grandiose plans, but I don't. Play some video games, maybe. I gotta tell you, alright? Last night, I'm assuming if you're watching these Isaac episodes, you're probably at least, like, beginner level familiar with Slay the Spire, which is not gonna be true for literally 100% of the people watching the video, but probably, like, a subset of people. A majority subset. You know, is a card-based deck builder. There's a freaking achievement in that game where you have to kill a specific final boss with a specific card. There's no reason, really, for me to be so concerned with trying to get this achievement. I tried to get it on camera. It didn't work after a few runs. You get the card, you don't fight that boss. You get the boss, you don't have that card. You know, that was the way it went consistently. Hold on, let's look at this for a second. Honestly, I think this is garbage. I don't want to see it anymore. Let's get the heck out of Dodge and redo this floor again. You have to kill Donu with feed. So at best, it's a 1 in 3 chance on a non-Ascension 20 run because you only get one final boss fight. And then you factor in the fact that feed is a rare card. So you probably get into like the 1 in 10 camp. And then you have to factor in that the run has to be good enough to, you know, beats the boss, and you absolutely have to beat the boss with that card. You get the idea. I played Spire probably for 3.5 to 4 hours last night. Let's try for something cooler than this. Why did I do that? Because I genuinely think it's one of the best roguelites ever made, and if you haven't played it yet, man, you're missing out, in my opinion. But on top of that, I was like, I gotta knock out this achievement just to get it off of my plate. Did I get it? You could probably tell from the tone of my voice I did not get it. Multiple times, had feed, no Donu. Never had feed going into the Donu fight. I even did there's like a question mark event where you can store a card. I had one deck with 2 feeds. I stored one of the feeds so I could take it on a future run. I got it on a future run. Did not fight Donu or Deca on that one either. Like, I'm just having a devil of a time. Anyway, it's very minor in the whole scheme of things. I still had a great time playing the game, don't get me wrong. Hold up. We can... I walked into the wrong one. It's okay. We could probably still find a way to get him. I was going to get how to jump and then just work my way across, which is definitely the smarter play. And then that would be a shop. I mean, maybe hold up. There might be secret room access back here. That's what's been on my mind. Really, you know, I mean, I guess if you got if that's what you're complaining about, it's a pretty minor complaint in the whole scheme of things, right? Badly balanced challenge that really there's no reason to feel like you have to do regardless. Sure, fair enough. I'm not going to be too beaten up over it. That being said, if I don't get it the next time I play the game, I might uninstall it forever. That's a joke. I obviously can't uninstall it. I still have to beat A20 as every character. I see all these little punks on the Slay the Spire subreddit. Wow, I put 200 hours in the game and I finally got the last achievement for getting A20 with everybody. Congratulations, I have 500 hours in the game. You know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, brother. That's what I always said since... Well, that's what people who take a long time to get to the destination say, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. What do you got for me? Super bandage. No, you got that super boop 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 doop doop. You got that super bandage. People still know that song, right? Super bass, which is a pun in and of itself, I guess. Nicki Minaj, look, her most enduring work, yo, let's go, is definitely Anaconda. People are most familiar with Anaconda, without a doubt. But she, as far as I'm concerned, Super Bass slaps hard enough. She's legally allowed to release probably 100 garbage songs. I'm not even saying Anaconda's garbage. But Super Bass is such a delicious slice of one-off hooky bubblegum pop. Like a ray of sunshine. She could do whatever she wants. At least for a little bit. I don't know. What's she doing now? I haven't really been following. I don't really follow popular music. I only know Ed Sheeran because chat laughed at me. Because I really thought that the song Shape of You from like 2 years ago, I thought it was every day, everything's covered in something brand new. And chat's like, NL, that's gross. It's every day discovering something brand new. But I'm telling you, it sounds like he's saying, everything's covered in something brand new. Go listen to it and tell me you're not hearing the same thing. Because after that he goes, I'm in love with your body. You know. Well, I guess we're moving on here. No keys. My man, I'm just saying he's having some liquid dreams. That's my 2 cents on the song. I think everybody else, you know, they're kind of buying into this idea. Oh, Mr. Good Ed Sheeran would never say it's a song about discovery. Nah, dude. My man is playing water polo, if you know what I mean. 48-hour energy. We may as well... I mean, this run has gotten absurd. You probably don't need me to tell you. I think we're going for 35 wins in a row. I think it's pretty much set in stone here. And you know, 35 is not that impressive. But here's the thing: we've reached the mature phase. You know, we're like a forest. We're no longer a sapling that grows big and robust. It sucks up 100 liters of water a day to make our trunk as strong as possible, etc., etc. You know, we're a mature, old-growth forest. The best we can do is 100% win rate. And we've been hitting that for like a month here. And I gotta be honest, except for the last run where my performance was a little bit spotty, I feel like we're doing a pretty great job of keeping things on the level. You know, I don't really think that I've squandered too much goodwill. And who knows, man, maybe much like an old growth forest, you know, we sacrifice a little bit of you know, impressiveness or pace for some sustainability. We are still gonna get to Bookworm here, which I think is, you know, is like modestly positive at best. I mean, there's not really much to complain about is what I'm getting at. So I'm still thinking about mental pictures of Ed Sheeran in situations he would probably rather I didn't. So you know what, Edward? Eduardo? Eddard? I'll stop. I'm sorry, I've slandered you too long. But I only know 2 Ed Sheeran songs. There's that one, and it's like, I wish you know that one. On the hill. I know he says that at one point. I've done the I don't know popular music bit too much recently, though. The real, you know, answer is I don't know most popular music these days that well. But that's okay because I live in the Pacific Northwest. There will always be a radio station here that exists to glorify the 1990s period when, you know, Seattle was the cultural, at least musical capital of North America. Nirvana, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam. Forgot about Pearl Jam. Definitely, they should be in there before Stone Temple Pilots. There's no disrespect intended. Eddie Vedder. I mean, what can you say? Every time a Pearl Jam song comes out on the card, Kate tells me that Eddie Vedder sounds bald. I mean, I don't know what he looks like now. I don't follow the adventures. Does he have like his own... You push me through. Does he have an Instagram account for his hair? Actually, he might be bald now. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say he stole the idea from me, but, you know, in the 1990s, I had hair. Eddie Vedder had hair. 2000s, Eddie Vedder had hair. I went bald. 2010s, we're both bald. You tell me who's copying who. I might do karaoke of his songs. He's doing karaoke. There we go. It took me a bit, but I got to one wordplay-related comedy joke I can be reasonably pleased with. I'm hoping, like, this run is set, but, you know, we've spent a lot of time around one another here. I think I can speak frankly to you. This run is great, but kind of boring. So what I'm hoping for, excuse me, that mushroom is very robust. What I'm hoping for is that we could, I mean, 9 lives does help for sure, but we could get something that makes it a little bit more interesting, like some kind of pseudo-bomb synergy or something like that, because for right now, it's not bad. That'll be interesting. That's one way to put it. But yeah, we definitely want something more. And I mean, I'll take a quick peek for like a magic mush, but I'm not gonna invest too much time into it because it's one of those items where like, whoa, your actual damage stat is like functionally irrelevant at this point. Anyway, let's move along. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in like a media sort of, I don't want to say haze, but a period of like, you know, Marvel's not coming out with any movies for a bit. How am I supposed to know what to watch? The new Spider-Man movie doesn't come out for a bit. What the heck am I supposed to see in theaters? Detective Pikachu? I'll probably see it. Look, I've maintained that the Pokemon in Detective Pikachu look ugly, but they look deliberately ugly. In like a way that is, I don't want to say positive, but is in keeping with the weird, like, hyper-realistic tone of the movie, it seems. At least visually, from like an art direction standpoint. Versus Sonic, which, you know, he just looks bad because he's like, I mean, obviously he does look, it looks horrifying. Someone said it perfectly, I think. They said that Sonic looks like when the kid in Jumanji, the first Jumanji, when he turns into a monkey. That's what Sonic looks like. It's like almost the same level of expected realism. I will say, and it's gonna make, I don't know, I can't tell if people resonate with me on this, if people disagree with me on this, or if people, you know, it's probably the case, fall somewhere in the middle, but I will say, and I was talking about it on the NLSS, does the Sonic movie look good? No, but it does look like a movie for kids. Detective Pokemon, or Detective Pikachu, it looks like a movie that's kind of aimed at... Excuse me, Ruka. Welcome, my son. Welcome. It looks like it's aimed at people who were kids when Pokemon, you know, came out. So I would say people that are probably somewhere between the ages of, like... I mean, this is a wide swath, but they're somewhere between the ages of, like, you know, 16 and 35 right now. That's, when I look at Detective Pokemon, I'm like, wisecracking Ryan Reynolds. People in my demo love Ryan Reynolds. He's like our Jack Nicholson. When I look at the Sonic trailer and I see the tone in it, I'm like, this is a movie for 7 and 8-year-olds, and that's fine. But the people giving hot takes on it, myself included, are like in their 30s. And all I can picture, and I've said this on the NLSS multiple times, but all I can picture is like, you know, me coming home from 5th grade and my dad being like, they got the paint color wrong on Optimus's pauldrons. And I do start to wonder if maybe, by the way, I know the arguments. Well, when you give them wage stagnation, then of course they turn to the opiate of the masses and are permanently infantilized by the fact that society won't let us grow up into the same adults our parents were able to grow up into during the heyday of, you know, conscienceless capitalism in the 1980s and so on and so forth. I get it, okay? But simultaneously, I've seen a lot of 30-year-olds that are like, Sonic's teeth don't look right. And I'm like, dude, they're right, but also, it's not. It's a property from when we were kids, but I don't think it's like for us. I could be wrong. Maybe. I mean, if they could, making a movie that like... I mean, that's why like Detective Pikachu looks pretty solid. It looks like something that, and reviews have seemed to indicate this so far, something that's like all ages, general audiences, you know, kids or young adults or teenagers can watch it, but adults can also watch it without feeling like super bored. Why even buy this? Also, Ruka, you can't be up on the desk if you're gonna stand up. Look at me in the eyes, my son. You got 2 choices, okay? You can be up on the desk and lay down. He's doing it. There we go. We don't even need to go over the second choice, which is obviously just get into the box. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, people my age should not be allowed to criticize things that are not for us. I'm just, I don't know, I do, I am a millennial. I'm right in the middle of the millennial range, you know, it's like 22 to 38, and I'm 30. So that's like literally smack dab. I'm like the Dr. Manhattan millennial, born at the exact midpoint of the millennial generation. So I do find myself on one end being torn to the idea that, like, you know, I have living memories from when my parents were 30, and they didn't once go like, Gomez Adams' mustache was wrong, but maybe they had those conversations in private. I don't know. Or maybe it's just a generational quirk that doesn't indicate that my generation, myself included, is, you know, willfully infantilizing itself. And it just indicates that, you know, it's a property to which a lot of people my age hold some sentimental value for because we grew up with it. Maybe. And perhaps, I don't want to say never grew out of it, but I just did, so. I mean, as long as they keep making good Sonic games. I guess if they had kept making good Sonic games, I mean. Hold on. Hierophant's big. I guess the Rorschach test for me should be like, if they made a Mario movie, and Mario looked as bad as Sonic looks in the Sonic movie, would I be poking fun at it? Yeah, okay. That's fair enough, I guess. Maybe I've come down on the side of acceptance. Please? Dude, Polyphemus was a huge pickup here. That's fair enough. Or people, sometimes they try to get me. They're like, well, what if they made an Isaac movie and then Isaac looked bad? Whatever, dude. You know? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Will I go see it? I mean, I have to. It's written into my contract. The big deal for me, well, not big deal, but the thing that gets me about the Sonic trailer is not that Sonic looks bad, but that the movie looks really bad. And I've seen some people being like, you know, well, Jim Carrey's carrying the movie, and I'm like, I don't know if we're watching the same trailer, brother, because Jim Carrey, I got a lot of fondness for a lot of Jim Carrey's roles. I mean, even his comedic roles, what I was going to say is Eternal Sunshine is one of my favorite movies, and it is, but like, even his, like, goofy comedic roles, you know, I grew up when those were popping. So I got a certain, almost nostalgia for zany Jim Carrey. But, I mean, he also seems, I wouldn't say he's bad. The tools he's been given don't appear to be very good. You know, if those were any good, I might consider taking them, but Ruka. So that's my 2 cents. That's a 30-year-old college degree holder's 2 cents on the upcoming Sonic movie. My apologies for adding to it. Will I go see it? No. I mean, I will if it gets, like, staggeringly great reviews. Absolutely. I mean, I went and saw Bumblebee in theaters. How was Bumblebee? It was fine. I will say, I didn't go see Bumblebee because I was like, I gotta see how this goes. I saw Bumblebee because my wife wanted to see Bumblebee. And I won't pass up essentially any opportunity to go to a movie theater. I'm still like someone born in the 1920s, where I'm like, you know, if somebody invites me to the picture show, I gotta go. Have you see the size of that screen? Anyway. Day one, brother. I'm gonna be there day one. Sitting in the front row with my Sonic shirt on. And rest assured, I do own many Sonic pieces of memorabilia, and that's not even a joke. Because there was a Sonic game in Champions of Fire 2, and they had some merch that was part of the grab bag. I got a Sega t-shirt that, I gotta say, not that I don't take offense to it, but whenever people go, hey, here's a promotional t-shirt, it's always a large. I'm not necessarily complaining about a free t-shirt, but as somebody who wears a medium, the large is like worse than a free thing. Because it's a free t-shirt that is also an insult. It's a free t-shirt that doesn't even fit right, and also is like the PR professional thinks you're fat. So I got a few of those, and I gotta tell you, the Sega shirt is actually a medium. So they were like, what size are you? And I was like, medium. And they didn't even say really, which is like a dream come true. Anyway, I also have a Sega umbrella from the same event. Sorry, I meant to blow you up earlier here. That's my mistake. So yeah, dude, day one, I'll be there. I gotta say, the other thing is, people will be like, well, I mean, you could wear it to bed, sure. But to be honest, I always wear like an undershirt. You know, even if I'm going someplace nice, I always have like just a plain white undershirt underneath because I have chest hair, so I don't want that to poke out through the top. It's a whole thing. But like beyond that, please stop hitting yourself. Beyond that, I just wear that to bed. Like whatever shirt was the basest level of whatever layer I was wearing that day, that's what ends up getting worn to bed. I'm not gonna change into a separate shirt to go to bed. I do my own laundry. I can see why you would, but anyway. But what I was gonna say is, if you're, and I know, you know, I wear my shirts a little small, I think. But a shirt that's one size too large actually just makes you look like even larger than you are. That's my experience, at least. Now, a shirt that's too small also looks comical, don't get me wrong. And I've been there. Shirts where when you raise your hand in class, all of a sudden you're giving somebody a free show of your navel. That's fancy English speak for belly button. But a shirt that's too large makes it look like you're wearing your dad's suit. I don't care who you even if you're larger than your dad, when you put his suit on, you're not filling out those clothes. There's something about, and I know this is a term, but there's something about dad bods, you know? Even if you have a dad bod, you put on another dad's clothes, you'll be like, man, this dad's got some broad shoulders. How did this dad's neck get so thick? I don't understand. Every dad's got a different kind of dad bod. They come in different varieties. Soft in the middle, but broad-chested. That's a classic dad bod. Beer gut, but somehow two very well-defined abs. The top two abs still poking out. That's probably one of the biggest in-style dad bods around right now. I don't know how they do it. It's a steady diet of 2 beers after work and the crushing omniscience of responsibility and caring for another human life. It changes you. Let me out. It's like there's like 3 phases of male. There's gestational, dad, and then old man strength. I don't know if we're gonna get to old man's. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna get to old man strength. I mean specifically. Not that I don't expect to get old, but I might. For me, sticking at dad bod might be like the best I could possibly hope for. Because I feel like old man strength happens when... Sorry, I thought I heard something at my door. Is this a cat? It is not a cat. I feel like old man strength happens when, you know, you're a dude who worked as like a refrigerator repairman for like 30 years. So even though you don't look like you're necessarily that strong, you got like the grip strength of a, you know, the reverse jaws of life. Like, how'd you get so strong, Grandpa? Well, you know, 40 years of hauling in imported Del Monte bananas on the docks. Okay, fair enough. Probably won't get there then. I work as a risk assessment manager for a large corporate firm in a big glass building. Maybe you get old man wisdom at that point, though. You'd be like, hey, Grandpa, should I do this? And you'll be like, nah. They'll be like, how'd you know that, Grandpa? Well, I've been doing risk assessment at a large glass building downtown for my entire life. And they'll be like, that's cool. I'll never get there because in the year in this bit is 2035. I'm a moisture farmer trying to ensure that the world's fresh water supply doesn't irrevocably get erased. That's a joke, but also, like, I don't know. I don't care. I'll be dead. Well, no, 2030. Wait, that's not that far away. I will definitely. I would bet my life savings on being alive in 2030, dude. 2040, I would say. I mean, there's obvious, you know, people get sick. That's the one worth bringing up. But I do feel like there's, as a young man, you know, if you survived through childhood and you survived through reckless teenager and young adult years, you stand a pretty good chance to make it to like the average lifespan at that. Oh my god. You know, I shouldn't prognosticate, you know, but I'm a man. As Dan's famous voice clip says, I'm a man, I'm 40. But I'm not 40, I'm 30, in case you forgot. But I feel like, you know, in terms of like male survival, once you reach like 18, there's like a lot of like accidents. Like, not just car accidents, but also, like, you know, I thought it'd be fun to do this, but now I'm dead. And then, like, a lot of alcohol-related stuff, and certainly, you know, mental health-related stuff as well. But if you make it through that period, you're obviously not scot-free. But once you get past that, you just keep your, you know, it's like riding a bike downhill. You pumped up the hill. What's the next step? Just keep your brakes pumping so you're not moving that fast. You just keep your hand on the front brake and try to be steady and hope that there's no errant rocks in the road. You made it through the first obstacle. So I think, realistically, there is a chance I mean, die is not the word that I would probably use. There's a chance we don't beat Mega Satan, and as a result, have to, like, oh my god, the bombs, they just get spit out from every direction. By chance, by the way, I mean, guarantee. No, there's a chance we don't beat Mega Satan. Then we'll have to go back and do, you know, all the floors of the game. Or of the chest, at least. I'd be okay with it. Oh my god. I definitely got a little too reckless on this run. Let's be reasonable. Thank God for whichever one of these myriad when you get hit payout items is paying out with HP on the regular. You're doing me an unbelievable solid. Oh my god. We're so lucky. Fair. That's alright, we got a demon heart out of it. Oh no, that's not a demon heart, that's a full red heart, but still. How on earth have we gotten so insanely lucky? I mean, there's definitely shots from this that we should have dodged. Full stop. But it's also, like, it's unpredictable. Sometimes we shoot out 1 bomb. Sometimes we shoot out 2 bombs. That's Bookworm. Sometimes we shoot out 4 bombs. Sometimes we shoot out more bombs because of Bookworm and Loki's horns working out together. Those bombs also have, like, I mean, they're guaranteed to split with Cricket's head, but then may also split multiple times, it seems like. I'm so happy we made it through that. It was getting real dicey. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.